Yo, what's going on, man? Got your boy G-Man Critical in this thing, man. You already know what it is. Critical Records, man. Critical Records digital distribution, the critical news, everything critical. I can go on and on. It's all critical, man. They already know what it is, man. But look, so I'm gonna break down a couple of little things. First, I'm gonna start off with like me moving into the Geneva Towers. So right now, a lot of people know. By now, a lot of people know I was born and raised in Sunnydale Projects. I actually stayed on Brookdale. I was born in the houses on Brookdale, then moved down to Brookdale Street. Moved down to Brookdale, like 64 Brookdale, right in the middle of the projects throughout the 80s. It was crazy. So I didn't move up out of there until 91. I moved up out of there. I moved in the towers when I was 13. So it was a whole different experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, so back in like the 80s and shit, like the towers in Sunnydale was all like the older guys used to all be together and shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was like all connected. It was like all one. But I was like a little youngster at the time, so I really didn't get a chance to experience that. Like when I moved down there and at 13, some shit had just happened, like maybe that year, to where it wasn't cool. It was ugly. It wasn't cool with Sunnydale and the towers. Some shit had just happened. It got ugly. So when I moved down there, I was in like the 7th grade. So I moved to the 14th floor in the B building. Everybody know, the people that know about the B building, they know, Elliot stayed there. I stayed right next door to Elliot, my partner L. Right next door. So when I moved in the building, I moved right next door to L. There's Mama Rochelle and little brother Marco and sister Mika and R.I.P. Bilo. That's where I met Bilo at, right there. So I moved in there and Howie T stayed right upstairs on the 15th floor, right upstairs from us. You know what I'm saying? So that's how them ended up being my best friends. Elliot, Howie T, Charmaine in the A building, and I can go on and on about the cats that like embraced me when I moved in the towers. Cause it wasn't really easy, you know what I'm saying, making that transition from Sunnydale to the towers. Even though I was young, they didn't really know me down there like that. I came from, you know what I'm saying, being in the projects all my life to coming down here to some new projects that I was basically a nobody, you know what I'm saying, starting all over, you know what I'm saying. And one of the first people I knew from the towers was Melvin, my partner Mac Mel. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the first cats I knew because I knew him before I moved to the towers. I knew him because we went to Luther Burbank together, middle school, right? So it was one day, it was back when I first moved here. I was getting on the elevator. It was me and my mom jumping on the elevator, right? And Melvin, and I think he was with Beaner, the big homie Bean, R.I.P. He was with, so they was together. And Mel was I just felt Mel just staring at me. I wasn't really trying to look at the nigga. I'm with moms and shit, like we on our way to the house and shit, you know what I'm saying? I ain't feel this nigga staring at me from the side of my face, right? Just staring. And then he just said something to me. He was like, hey, didn't you go to Patrol Hill? He was talking about another middle school in San Francisco. But I ain't go there. I went to Luther Burbank, where the Sunnydale kids went. And I was like, nah, I went to Burbank, bro. He was like, oh, that's where I remember you from. We went to school together. Because we had homeroom together and shit. So everything kind of ended up cool and shit, you know what I'm saying? But it was just multiple situations where it was just like, it got kind of slimy like for me, like, you know what I'm saying? It got kind of ugly. But I made it up out of them situations, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go off in depth about a few situations where motherfuckers try to get me. But I ended up making out of situations to where niggas wasn't able to really jump me, wasn't able to rob me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I slid up. I'm talking about the niggas from the hood, the tower niggas, my niggas. You know what I'm saying? That eventually ended up being my niggas. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, like I said, I was pretty much a nobody. There was niggas trying to figure out who the fuck I was. But people didn't really know me because I was real young. And they didn't even know where I was from or nothing. But I ended up, you know, like, so the next year when I turned 14, me and my partner Howie T started doing his thing and shit, man. He started hustling. And around the same time, simultaneously, me and Elliot started doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. Niggas started really turning up. And that's where, like, I could say, like, a couple other little issues came at when I started making money in the towers. So it's one thing that I'm living there, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers want to know where I was from and who I was and all that shit, right? But when they seen that I was hustling, making money, that was a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know around that time, like, if you wasn't locked in, you wasn't finna be making no money down in the towers. It just wasn't happening. So what I would do, right, I would wait to the late night shift and I start off sneaking out there on a late night shift, you know what I'm saying, outside in front of the B building, just to make whatever sales I can make, just do whatever I can do, right? And then certain people start seeing me, and they're like, oh, what this little nigga doing? I was young, I was like 14 years old, out there trying to get to a bag, right? But they're like, what he doing? You know what I'm saying? Then gradually niggas start seeing me and shit, man, like Bean, the nigga Line, big homie Line, seeing me out there late night, because he used to be out there late night. Lionel Cross, Marcel brother, shouts out big bro. And he used to see me out there late night. He wasn't really tripping like that. But then cats start seeing me in the daytime and shit. I used to be with Elliot, my next door neighbor. He was a little bit more known than me, even though he came from Fillmore. So he wasn't really established over there like that, but they knew him. He was over there before me. They knew who he was, you know what I'm saying? And Bean, some of the other guys came from Fillmore too. So they already knew Elliot and stuff, so it was, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of cool. So I used to be with him, and then Howie T was already like a little bad little tower nigga from the B building. So it ended up working out cool. I didn't go through no major issues, but yeah, started doing my thing out there and shit, man. I ain't gonna lie. But so one thing I can say about the towers, man, when I moved down there and started like really getting involved in the community and really outside and doing my thing and shit, right? One thing I noticed is like it was like more of a family structure down there. See, when I was in Sunnydale, I'm gonna tell you how different it was. In Sunnydale, right? Sunnydale was like so big. Me and my best friend, one of my best friends back then, we stayed in the same projects and never knew each other. Never seen each other one time that we remember, right? So when I got to Luther Burbank in the 6th grade, I seen my partner Quincy, Q-Dog, Quincy Jones, right? And shouts out Quincy Jones. That's my brother, man. And we met each other and were just like, man, where you stay at? And he was like, Sunnydale. I was like, where you stay at? I'm like, Sunnydale. But I stayed over on Brookdale, which was closer to Sunnydale Avenue, and he stayed on Blythedale. And it was really back then two different worlds. It was two different worlds back then. Anybody that was in Sunnydale in the 80s, you know, people that stayed on that was hanging on Sunnydale didn't really go on Blythedale, and vice versa for the most part back when I was out there. But I'm gonna get into some stories about that later on too, about the homie Big Vic and how he first got into hustling. Big Vic from Trey Fo from Sunnydale up the hill. You know, I stayed right across the street from him on Brookdale. And how he got into hustling, doing his thing and shit. And unfortunately got killed when he was like 20 years old, man. But yeah, back to the towers. Yeah, that was the difference. Everybody kind of knew each other in the buildings between the A and the B building. People was like, it was more of a family connection, family structure. It was families that's not really family, but they really look at each other as family. Like you couldn't tell them people that they ain't related. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And the kids is raised to, on the same thing. We all locked in. We all family. But another thing about the towers back in the early '90s. So I just like meeting some of the homies and shit. Like man, like, cause some cats was in jail and shit. Like, and I had to meet them when they came home. You know what I'm saying? Like Ken, my boy Crush. Shouts out Crush, man. I had to meet Crush when he came home. Well, first I had to meet Dickie, R.I.P. Dickie, R.I.P. Jermaine, man. Real solid nigga, bro. Showed me major love. You know what I'm saying? It's a real one. I'm missing. We missed that nigga, man, for real. I met Dickie, then I met Ken, and then I met Bobo, when they got out of jail because they all had went down on the same case. And they was getting out at different times. But I met them niggas because I didn't know them until they got out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the other homies, like Junebug, big homie Junebug was in the pen. You know what I'm saying? And he had came home. I had to get introduced to him. Like I had to get introduced to D-Nice, Dion, because he was in the pen. He came home. Man, I can go on and on about the cats that I had to meet that was coming home, but there was a lot of the guys that was already out, outside on the block and shit, man. Like I said, Bean. So I stayed right next door to Elliot. This what kind of got me in a little easier, a little smoother, right? I stayed right next door to Elliot. They kind of knew Elliot, and people used to be at his house. I used to be at his house every day. I'm one of the people that can just walk right in, because I stay next door, And big homie JT used to be up there too. James Taylor, R.I.P. He used to be up there because he was with Elliot's sister, Tamika. They ended up having a couple kids together. Shouts out my nephews, man. Jay Flocka and White Chalk Body Bag. Yeah, my guys, man. So look, Bean them used to come up there. Bean, Snigs, Iggy, the big homie, motherfucking Reg, R.E.G., and JT. And a few other guys, they used to come to Elliot house. So I'm already up there as a young nigga, like up there, just trying to just fuck with my partner. Elliot was one of my best friends. Smoking, you know what I'm saying? Elliot was a little older than me, Elliot got me about 3 years. But you wouldn't have knew. We was like the same size, and we used to just be on the same shit, you know what I'm saying? So I actually started school. So I started school in Banning, California, high school, at the Banning High School, which is in Southern California. I went there for a few months. I'm going to break that down. I'm going to have a whole nother segment called Banning, California, and I'm going to break that down. But look, after a few months, I came right back to San Francisco in the 9th grade and started school at Woodrow Wilson. It was like a couple years before they turned Philip Burton. And me and Elliot, my nigga Toast, we was all going up there together. Kofi, I can go on and on, man. Mika B. Man, we was all just fucking with it, right? And see, one thing I regret not really going to school like I should have went, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we all went to Wilson together. Then we end up just leaving at lunchtime to come home, come smoke, get some weed and go get high and rap on the karaoke machine. You know what I'm saying? So anybody know back then we was making tapes on the karaoke machine back in '93. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out Jesse James. That's my brother, man. He was coming up there fucking with us back then. Niggas like 14, 15 years old and shit, bro. Rapping, because we was already rapping, doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? And he was coming up there fucking with us. You know what I'm saying? That's how far me and bro go back. That's bro on everything. But look, you got, so 94, man, like, anybody remember 94, what was going on? We was getting a lot of motherfucking money out there. As we was kids, you know what I'm saying? Well, I was, me and some of the guys that I was with. We was getting a lot of motherfucking money, and niggas out there shooting dice every day. Right on Sharon Street. You know what I'm saying? right on Sharon Street in front of the B building, bro. We was shooting dice every motherfucking day in 94. 95, man, it was busting out there. It was popping out there, man, in front of the B building. Niggas know we had that bitch rocking, nigga, on everything. So, 95, same shit, but anybody that know 95, they turned it, that's when they started kicking us out of the towers. So by the end of October, by like September, August of 95, everybody was kicked out the towers. They was gone, out of there. And so what kept me so grounded, I was 17 years old. I had just turned 17 that year. So what kept me, in August. So what kept me so grounded, right, in the neighborhood, because I could have moved anywhere. I could have moved to Oakland, Fillmore. They gave us all Section 8. And motherfuckers was just like, everybody was going their own way and shit. They were doing their own thing. And my mom found this spot right across the street from the towers on Garrison Street, 20 Garrison. Anybody know that's right behind the building, man, right there in the brick homes. You know what I'm saying? It's right on the same block as the tower. So I didn't go nowhere. So I was already out there hustling, right? So I didn't have to change my flow. My flow never really, I just stayed with the flow. A lot of people whole situation got changed. They moved somewhere across town. They moved, you know what I'm saying, moved somewhere with family somewhere, and shit got shook up. But me, I stayed on the block. So I still was right there with all the clientele. So niggas know, 95, I had the homie Crush staying right down the street in the brick homes from me. You know, that's when so at the time in 95, me and Howie T was still hanging on Garrison Street, right on side of the B building, doing our thing, right? And we'd hear people saying, ain't no more towers, the tower's gone, this and that and the third. And we used to be like, well, the tower niggas is here. You know what I'm saying? It's still tower niggas. So me and Howie T, we started calling the whole neighborhood Tower Side. So the Geneva Towers, once they kicked us all out and was finna tear the buildings down, me, Howie, and shouts out Boo, one of the homies, that put it out there too. We turned the whole neighborhood into the Tower Side. So from the brick homes to the new, you know, then they built the new shit in 2000. The Britain Courts, Heritage Homes, and all that little area. From Sawyer to Sharon, Visitation to Velasco. That's the Tower Side, man. That's the side, man. Niggas already know what it is. So, like, at that time, we young niggas, man, just holding shit down. Just, you know, just doing our thing, right? We used to actually, so at the time, the block was around the corner by the park. We call that the Park Side, the new park. You know what I'm saying? Kellogg block. Niggas already know. So, we was over there doing our thing, man, for like 5 years. Into 2000 when they built the new shit. And at that time, anybody that really was around in 2000, the police wasn't playing with us around there in the brick homes. Because, you know, the brick homes, them private-owned houses. These is homeowners. Some people on Section 8, but these are people that own these houses. This ain't no public property and shit like that. So they started really cracking down on us, raiding the block, taking niggas to jail, giving niggas citations and shit for loitering. It got ugly. So we really had to make a move and do something different, man. That's, for some reason, that's right when they built the new apartments, the Heritage Homes and the Britain Courts. And at that time, it was like, man, and it's 2000. It's like a start of a new millennium. That's the new millennium. Anybody that know about the neighborhood back in that time, about the whole community in 2000, it was like probably 1,000 niggas, more than that. Probably, man, about 1,000 niggas just in the whole community. From motherfucking Hilltop to Leland to the Tower Side to all the way through Sunnydale. It was niggas all through that motherfucker. This is before a lot of niggas died, right? We didn't really start losing niggas until 03, 04, so on. But like at this time, nigga, everybody was here. It was fucking lit in the hood, bro. Anybody that remember the hood back in them early 2000s, bro, they know what it is, bro. They know what it was. Trust me. It was popping around that motherfucker, man. We was young niggas. I'm talking about like, we'd be down in the towers niggas would be up by the stove up by Little Village on Sunnydale High like 30 deep, 30, 40 deep. No lie. This when everything was good, nigga. Everybody fucking with it, nigga. Niggas be up there 30, 40 deep. We come up the street from the towers, nigga, 20 deep. So now we up there 50, 60 deep, nigga, in front of Little Village. Posted, nigga, fucking with it, drinking and shit, nigga, having fun, nigga. Like them was really some of the days in the hood. A lot of people remember them days, bro. I'm telling you, because there was a lot of motherfuckers around in the community. A lot of black people was around in the community. I grew up in Sunnydale, and the towers were black people. Like I didn't grow up with nobody else with blacks. A few Samoans, but it was when I moved in the towers, the building was full of black people, full of black people. So it was different, man. It's definitely different in them days.